You might be thinking, okay, but how would I use this in education properly with academic integrity and with something that is going to save me time as an educator? So there's a lot of things here. I'm just going to click through our list. You can use it to create feedback for students. Are you letting it score all the student work for you? No, but can you create feedback that you don't have to write by hand? Absolutely. Are you going to use it to create new strategies? For example, maybe you have a science lab or a math activity that your students have struggled with in the past and you'd like a fresh idea. Maybe you'd like it to pull some resources together for your students to read, or even rewrite a resource in the correct reading level. That's exciting. Things we used to do as educators by hand with our own brains, now we can use Copilot to assist us and help streamline that work. It can create rubrics for us. It can also generate task criteria. And what I love about this is, as the educator, I'm empowered to use this assistant to give me the ideas, to give me the starting points, and then I tweak and revise and modify and remix before I share with my students. Because I know what's best for my students, but just having that starting point saves me so much time. I can use it to generate some lesson plan ideas. I can use it to generate exemplar texts. So giving students those clear examples of what I'm expecting out of an assignment so that they are scaffolded with a template that they can then understand my expectations. Something that I know my children here who live with me highly value in all of their schoolwork. Documentation. So instead of creating, again, by hand, the step-by-step directions on how to do something, we can ask generative AI to do that for us. We can also create quick formative assessments. So maybe we see a web resource or a document that we would like Copilot to create a few little check-in questions about, and I can ask it to do that for me, copy and paste them into a forms assessment, make any changes I need to, and use that with my students immediately. So lots of excitement. I hope you're capturing this slide in a screenshot so that you have a little checklist of things to try out as you get started. Now, we've seen a lot of AI in the headlines, right? The pressures today are very different than several years ago. We had a pandemic disruption, the workforce is changing, industries are shifting. We have a very much more connected global population, more security threats, but the pace of technology has not slowed one bit. It's advancing incredibly quickly, and we see these headlines around the world, sometimes designed to scare us as clickbait, so that we go click on those articles and generate ad income, let's be honest. But then we have articles that are telling us what's actually happening. So make sure you're reading these headlines with your human brain in mind, and remembering that AI is truly shaping our future. It's not here to scare us. It's here to help and to be responsible. One of the ways that Microsoft has committed to the impact in education is through their responsible AI principles. Now, these are principles that I'm not going to dig into every single one here, but we have fairness, reliability and safety, privacy and security, inclusiveness, very important, transparency, and finally, accountability. And all of these principles can be kind of, dug into deeply on Microsoft's Responsible AI Principles site, which I've just posted for you in the Q&A. And I'll also share again at the end of this session. So these are things that Microsoft is committed to when developing AI tools. I've had lots of conversations with educators and leaders and with Microsoft engineers around topics like bias and what we call hallucinations or fabrications, when AI generates something that is inaccurate or AI is generating something with bias or with risk. How do we change the data set, or how do we impact the data set with our own correct information to help the AI learn what is correct and what is not correct. How do we apply filters? Because behind all generative AI are humans who are writing codes and algorithms. So it's incredibly important that we put our trust in an organization like Microsoft to do the right thing. And I truly believe that they are 100% dedicated to that. And we could talk more about that, separately. But it's something that I believe can truly change the face of education in a really exciting way.